So you're on the fence with buying a battery-powered mower, and I don't blame you. You would have asked me a couple of years ago, I would have told you no way was I into battery-powered technology. Now, a lot of things have changed. The number one thing that has changed, the amount of power these batteries hold. We're up to 60 volts now, which is a game changer, because when it comes to mowers, power is everything. There's no replacement for displacement.
Let's address the biggest elephant in the room when it comes to going battery powered, and that's the price. This Toro 60-volt flex force power system that Toro donated to me for the unboxing comes in a whopping $599, where the same mower with a gas-powered Briggs & Stratton comes in at $429, a $170 difference.
I gotta say, that was probably one of the easiest unboxings I've ever had in my entire life. Whoever's in charge of the packaging with Toro is winning. I mean, that box weighs somewhere around 70, 80 pounds, but it's completely assembled minus the handles. And that's about it. You plug in the handles, you're ready to go. But man, what in the world are people using keys for these days? My 7-year-old's gonna get this. I'm gonna find it underneath the couch. I'm gonna find it somewhere, or I just won't find it at all. Just why? Why? One of the biggest benefits to going battery powered is the maintenance. There's virtually nothing. You might have to change a belt here and there. You might have to take an air compressor, kind of blow out the areas to make sure you don't get stuff that is going to throw the belt off. You don't have to change the fluids. You don't have to change gasoline. You don't have to put stable in over the winter. You just put the battery in and you go. Now, the drawback is the battery. You're only going to be able to do so many thousand square feet. So if you have a larger lawn, or if you forget to charge the battery, you're kind of hosed unless you have multiple batteries, and the cost of the batteries are expensive. Now, I've been playing with these batteries for almost going on 3-4 years now, and they're holding charges brilliantly. I'm not seeing a ton of degradation out of the batteries, so if you plan on having this mower for 5 years or less, you're gonna be okay.
Another major benefit to not having a motor and having to deal with all those fluids is you can store the machine whatever direction you want.
This may not seem like a big deal, but it makes storage and transportation a dream. Especially if you're a little bit older, you usually don't sharpen your blades, you don't know how to take the blades off the mower, and you need to put it in the car or the van. It's just a nice, convenient add-on, really. Someone please give the designer of Toro an award for business in the front, party in the back, baby. Check this out. Put in a little mud flap, little striper. What are you gonna do? I'm not sure that's really gonna do much, but it's pretty funny. Now, when it comes to cut quality, there's too many factors involved, and I'm not going to be able to give you the best opinion on that, other than the fact that out of the box, the Toro that I'm reviewing today and a couple of the other competitors have incredible blades. Whether you have a single blade with a mulching kit on it, or you have the dual or quadra cut blades that Honda offers, sharpened mow blades are going to make a big difference, but also the rigidity of the deck. Now, one thing that I've always loved about Toro is when they went battery operated, they decided to not go with a lot of the other companies with polymers or plastic. They stuck to the steel deck. Now, my opinion on that is you're gonna get much more longevity out of a steel deck. Now, the other consideration that you're going to have is the size of the area that you're going to be mowing. Now, the majority of the battery-powered mowers, including the Toro one that I'm reviewing today, will do somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 square feet, depending on how thick the grass is. Now, considering this is the recycler, we need to be doing some recycling, so we're gonna mulch away. We're gonna put it into the recycling option, and we're gonna take the bag off the back, and we're just gonna mow. I found the thickest patch of turf type tall fescue I can find here in St. George. And the mower, it's cutting well. Now, keep in mind, I'm mowing ½ an inch off the top. We're recycling it back into, or mulching it back into itself. And the proof here, I mean, check it out. It looks really, really good. We're not seeing a bunch of debris. Cut is super, super clean. I'm pretty happy with it. We're just gonna keep cutting. So all in all, I'm really happy with the cut. I'm mulching properly. We don't have a lot of evidence of clumping, but again, like I've said, you can't take too much off the top, especially with these entry-level lawnmowers. They just don't have enough torque and enough speed to really get the material where it needs to be. So I've made a couple of height adjustments just to make sure that we're in the sweet spot, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Once we get into the lawn here, this is where I was mowing a little bit too short. You get in here and the materials that we have, it's just not breaking down. But once we get over here, I literally made one adjustment to the mower, raised it. I'm still cutting a significant amount, but then bam, all of a sudden, everything's good. I mean, we've got a little bit of confetti once every now and then, but for the most part, I'm cutting clean. Expectations wise, the mower's cutting exactly how I thought it would be. I'm still curious about the Vortex. Does it actually put more materials in the bag? Now, I mean, it looks really cool. I don't know how sold I am on it, but let's tilt the mower back. The idea is that adds in like an air scoop, right? Like in a car. That air is then pushed through this little area right here, and then it goes from here all the way through, without cutting my fingers off, through the bagger. So in essence, it's shooting the grass from here all the way through the bag. You end up getting more grass in your bag. I don't know about you guys at home, but I've watched a lot of Fast and Furious, and no matter how many cool hood scoops you put on a Honda Civic, it's not going to be a 10-second car. So we're gonna put the bag on right now, but so far, pretty impressed. Like if you're a homeowner, you're gonna be mowing a couple of times a week or at least once a week, but you're not gonna be taking more than a ½ inch off the top, you're gonna be really happy with this. Okay, here we are, moment of truth. We gotta see what's in the bag. I'll tell you what though, cut is nice. The bagger is definitely sucking up the debris. I had a lot less debris or grass on the sidewalk compared to where we were down there once I put the bagger on, which means the suction's good and I'm pretty happy with it. Overall, a few scragglers in the lawn when you're dealing with tall fescue like this, that's normal. It is a thicker blade grass, which is why I really want to do this test with tall fescue. Just so you can see this at home, this is how the materials are lying. So we're still getting a little bit of stacking in the front. It's not horrible. It's coming back to the back, but it's almost like a triangle shape. I imagine this is gonna build, taper off, but all in all, it's got good airflow. Now, if we really wanna get into the bag, the grass clippings look like they're being cut really, really well. Really fine, really happy with how it's cutting. I don't think that's gonna be an issue. We cut about 5,000 square feet here so far, and so far so good. Battery life, let's take a look at that real quick and just see where we're at. It's got a lot of juice in it. If it's not overextended, it's gonna go for a little while. So we are down halfway on the battery. The amount of power that you can get out of these mowers is actually kind of shocking. They do really, really well, but they underpower them for a reason, and that's to save battery life or to elongate the battery life. Now, Toro was pretty smart about this. It has a sensor to sense when you get into denser materials, and then it engages or ups the power to get a cleaner cut. And I gotta say, it works okay. I wouldn't say it works phenomenal. You'll notice on this recycler, and keep in mind, this is an introductory model, it starts to struggle when the grass gets around 5 or 6 inches. So this kind of model, my opinion on it, if you're willing to mow once a week or more, it is a fantastic option. If you guys have any thoughts or details that maybe I might have missed, hit me up in the comments below. You know I'd love to help you guys out. Till next time, guys, it's the Pest and Lawn Ginja. We're slaying lawns.